Hi everyone, I'm Wangil Gising. In today's class, we'll learn how to calculate the square root of a number using the long division method. While calculators make this easy, we don't always have access to them in school. That's why learning this method is essential. Now, it may look complicated at first, but with clear steps, it becomes manageable and logical. This technique works for your perfect squares, non-perfect squares, and decimal numbers. So to understand it, let's go step by step. So I have a number, root 9801. So let us find the square root of this number. Okay, in order to do the calculation, we'll have to first draw the table like this and write the number. Okay. Next step is we'll have to group the digits in pairs starting from the right. Did you hear that? We'll have to group the digits in pairs from the right, starting from the right. So this is our first pair and this is our second pair. So after doing so find the biggest number whose square is less than or equal to 98. You need to find that biggest number whose square means which multiplies with itself and the product is less than or equal to 98. So the number is 9 nines are 81, 9 times 9 is 81, 10 times 10 is 100, 8 times 8 is 64. So the closest and less than 98 is 9 times 9. So 9 square is 81. What do we do next? We subtract. The answer is, now this pair will come down together. Okay, we extend this line and now we have 1701. Next, what do we do is you double the digit, you double this digit and write 18 here and give a space. And in this space, you'll add a digit. That digit can be from 0 to 9. It can be any digit. Okay. And it's such that whichever digit you give here, the same digit will multiply the three digits and the product should be less than or equal to 1701. Okay, so that needs to be carefully considered, although you need to try in the rough section also which one would be the closest or the exact value. So I'm thinking of taking 8. Let's say first try with 8. That's what happens. So if it is 8, I'll have to write here 8 and now multiply 8 times 188. That's how it works. So think like this, okay? 8 times 188 means like 188 is almost 200, isn't it? So 8 into, say this is 200. 8 into 200 is 1600. So since this is a little less than 200, so it will be less than 1600. So we have 701. So, shall we try 9? So if we try 9, let's see what happens. I'll have to write 9 here. So 9 times 189. Now this is also close to 200. You think it has 200. So 9 into 200 is 9 twos are 18. So it's going to be 1800. If it is 200, then it's straight 1800. But since it's less than 200, a little less than 200, let's multiply and see what comes next. And there's also one thing to observe, that if you multiply this into the unit digit of this number, if you multiply this, the first in your product, the first number that you're going to get is 1, because 9 times 9 is 81. Okay, 9 into 8 is 72, plus 8 is 80. All right, 9 ones are 9, 9 plus 8 is 17. Okay, this is the exact number. So if you subtract, the remainder is 0. So square root of 9801 is this number. It's 99. Or you may think that 99 square is 9801. So square and root are interrelated. If the remainder comes 0, then this number 9801 is a perfect square. All right. So this is how it's done. We'll move on to another one. Okay, let's find the square root of 784. So we'll draw a table, write the number 784, and we'll pair the digits from the right. So we have a pair. So since we don't have a pair for 7, we'll leave as it is. Okay. Now, what do we do next? You think of a number, the biggest number, whose square is equal to or less than 7. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 3 is 9. So 9 is bigger than 7, so we'll have to use 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. Did you understand? This, so while trying to pair the numbers from the right, for this one we did not find a pair, so we leave as it is. Now we think about a number, in fact the biggest number, whose square is either equal to or less than 7. So it's 2, because 2 square is 4 and 3 square is 9. So 9 is bigger than 7, so we'll use 2. After that we subtract, and the answer is 3. Now this pair will come down, and they act as 384. And over here, what are we going to write is, you just double this number. Okay, it's 2. We'll write 4 and give a blank. Okay, give a space, and in this space you can write only one digit, and that one digit can be from 0 to 9, any value from 0 to 9. So it should be such that the number that you give here, that number will multiply the two digits, and the product should be either equal to 384 or less than 384. So it's like a guess. Okay, so if you give, for example, how can we guess is, if I give it 5, for example, okay, then that 5 I'll have to write here and multiply 45. Okay, so it's 384. So what should be, okay, 8 fours are, so 8 into 4s are 32, right? It's 38. 9 fives are, 9 into 4s are 36. It's closer. Means I can write 9 or 8, right? So I will go with 8. Because 9, it might exceed, because we'll have to consider 84 also, right? So 8 fours are 32. It's going to be 320 something. 8 is 64, 4, 6. 8 fours are 32. 32 plus 6 is 38. So taking it was the right decision. Now subtracting, answer is 0. The remainder is 0 means that the 784 is a perfect square, and under root this is 28. That is 28 square is 784. This is how we find the square root of a given number by long division method. Now let's level up and do it for a decimal number. So now we'll find the value of root 2 by long division method. Although its exact answer is 1.414213 and so on. Like this is a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. It's an irrational number. So we are going to find the value of this number, this root 2, till 3 decimal places, till here. Okay. So I'll show you how to do it. So we have 2, the digit 2. Now if we want the numbers in 3 decimal places, what do we need to do is we'll have to write 3 pairs of zeros. This we must add. If you want more than 3 decimal places, you'll have to add another pairs of zeros. Now 2 is the only number left. Okay, so similar method, you find the biggest number whose square is equal to or less than 2. So that is 1. Subtract, it's 1, and double if this number is 2. This you bring it down, so it's 100. So which number will you put here such that if you multiply it's less than or equal to 100? You think of 5, right? If you put here 5 into 25 is 125. So the number is 4. Oh, sorry. Before this came down, we have a decimal point, so we put here a decimal point. So 4, this is 96. Subtract 4. This 0 will come down, this pair. Now double of this 14 is 28. Now okay, we'll put a number and it will multiply it with that number, and it is less than or equal to 400. So the number is 1, because if you put it 2, although 1 you can see it from here also, but if you put it 2, then it's going to be 2 into 200 is 400, but 2 into 80 is, it will exceed 400, right? So it will be like more than, it will be almost 600. So this is 281. It's 9. 119. Now you bring this pair, double of 141 is 282. So the number is here. So you can try other numbers also. It's not going to work, by the way. So if you put 4 here, it's like 4 into 2 is 8,000, right? 4 into 8 is 3,200, right? So 8,000 plus 3,200, 8,000, 9, 10, 11,000, and this 4 is also there. It's 24. So that will also get multiplied and added. So in a lump sum, what you can do is once you give a number, you first multiply with the first digit. Okay, then you get the bigger number, like 4 into 2 is 8. That's 8,000. less than 11,000. Then 4 into 8 is 3,200. This, because you multiplied the thousands place, your answer is going to get in thousands. When you multiply the hundreds place, you'll get the um, product in hundreds. Like 4 into 8 is 3,200. So likewise, 4 into 20 is 80. That's how we can approximate. So now we put here 4. So 4 4 is 16. 4 2 is 8 9. 4 is 32. 4 2 is 8 9 10 11. So yes, this is very close to 1100 and 11,900. So yes, we will get a value here, right, after subtracting, but from there on we are not, we are not moving forward, because we want to stop our calculation till 3 decimal places. So this is our answer. So you may write root 2 as 1.414, or round it off to 2 decimal places as 1.41. Okay. We have another interesting number. Okay, now we'll find the square root of 155 by the similar method. First, we'll draw the table and write the digits. And then what do? We pair the digits from the right. So this is our first pair. And since we don't have a pair for 1, we'll leave as it is. Now we think of the biggest number whose square is less than or equal to 1. So that is 1 itself, because 1 times 1 is 1. You subtract, it's 0. Okay, this will come down. Now the double of this number is 2. We give a space. Choose a number such that if you multiply with the number, it should be less than or equal to 55. So the number is 2. 2 times 22 is 44. If I had chosen 3, then it will be 3 into 23, which is 69. It is greater than 55. So that's why 2 is the correct choice. We subtract and the answer is 11, right? So, 11 is smaller than this. Therefore, we got a remainder here. The remainder is not 0. So if we get a remainder, we must understand that this is not a perfect square. So the answer is going to be in decimal numbers. So we'll have to give a decimal point. So once we give decimal point, we can add a pair of zeros. Okay. You must give the zeros in pair. Okay. Now next, double of 12 is 24. Give a space. Think of a number which, when you multiply the 3 digits, the answer is, the product is less than or equal to 1100. So if it is 7, then 7 into 2 is 14. That's 1400. It's exceeding. If it is 5, 5 into 2 is 10. Okay, 1000. 5 into 4, 40 is, okay, I think it will exceed 1100. It is 4. Because 4 twos are 8, 800. Okay, plus this extra numbers are also there. So 4 fours are 16. 4 times 4 is 16 plus 1 17. 4 twos are 8 and 9. You subtract. So if you subtract 976 from 1100, the answer is 1 124, right? So we can further add a pair of zeros, right? Since we have given decimal numbers. So what's the double of 124? Okay, for this one, don't include the decimal point. Just think the double of 124 is 248, right? Double of 124 is 248. Give a space. Now we'll think of a number that when you multiply the four digits, it is equal or less than 12,400. So once again, it is 4, because 4 times 2000 is 8000. If it was 5, then 5 times 2000 is 25. Sorry, 5 times 2000 is 1000. Uh, sorry, 10,000. We have this also extra. Okay, we'll go with 4. Let's try. So 4 times 4 is 16. 4 8 is 32. 32 plus 1 is 33. 3. 3. 4 4 is 16. 16 plus 3 is 19. 4 2 is 8 and 9. Okay. So if we subtract 9,936 from 12,400. Okay. So this is 6 4 6 and 4 2464. So this is less than this digit, right? So the 4 was the correct choice, right? So likewise, we can further add 2 zeros and go for one more decimal place. But usually the answer, the answer which we require is, in 2 decimal places. If 3 decimal places required, then add 2 more zeros and continue the same process. You'll get another digit as well. But for now, we may consider that under root 155 is approximately equal to 12.44. At the max, it can be 12.45 or 12.46, but still 12.44 is also you may consider as the correct answer. So we'll move on to another number. All right, this is our final and the ultimate one. Okay, so this one is going to test our knowledge. Okay, how much we have understood, and if you can solve this one, then think you have mastered long division method. All right, so it's a huge decimal number, right? So we'll have to find the square root of this number. So how do we do it? First we write it in the table, okay? And here also we'll have to group the digits in pairs. Starting from the decimal point, the numbers on the left start pairing from this direction. And numbers on the right start pairing from right. Okay, from the left, if there is a decimal point, start pairing from left, and numbers on the right side of the decimal point, start pairing from the right. Okay, so this is your first pair. The second one does not have a pair. Here you need to make a pair by adding a zero. While in this case, if this does not have a pair, you leave as it is. But on the left hand side of the decimal point, if it if the number exists without a pair, then you must make a pair yourself by adding a zero. Right? Now the same process starts. So look at the first number without a pair. So we'll have to find a number, the biggest number whose square is equal or less than 2. That is 1. All right. So you subtract 195. Next is you double this number 2 and think of a digit. This number should be less than this, right? So before, when I tried with 8, it was 4,000 something. So 4,000 is greater than this, right? That's why I tried with 9. Now the remainder is less than this. So next it will come down. What do? We double this number, 1719. So double of this is 2 9s 18. 2 1s 2. 2 7s 14. 2 1s 2 3. So now you'll have to divide 57,120 by 34,300 and something. So that's only one, right? So below you write the number, you subtract, and that's how you can continue. But we'll end our process till 2 decimal places. So the answer is 171.91, approximately equal, which you may say equal also. It's no problem. Okay. So So I hope you understood how it's done. We did all the different types of numbers, finding the square root of 2. So from that one, I guess you can find the square root of 3, 5, any prime numbers stuck inside a root, and finding the square root of a perfect square or a non-perfect square, right? So with this, I end my class here. So see you in the next class.